Hey, Jeff, wanted to ask you about the tempo on Saturday. Dylan talked about how important it was to really set up to go early to play a bunch of different speeds. Just maybe what you see from the tempo of your offense on different drives, and how important is that going into Saturday?
You know, I thought it was good. I felt like when we wanted to play fast and go fast, we were able to do so. With guys still having the ability to execute and play clean. And then I thought we did a nice job when we wanted to pull back a little bit, you know, and chew some clock, make sure we're putting our guys in good positions. So it was good to see kind of both ends of it.
On Saturday when you played to like SMU, that plays really, really fast.
Yeah, we want to dictate how the game plays for sure. There's no doubt about that. So we'll continue to be us. We got plenty to get better at, but it'll be a heck of a challenge on Saturday.
Hey Jeff, you spoke highly of Petaway going into preseason camp, seeing it out there, 9 catches, and that, the confidence that it'll build in him and what we'll have in him here going forward.
Right, you know, we'll always talk about this, but just being able to live the experience part of it, him being able to go do it was a huge deal. Was happy for him, you know, just being able to get out there his first game, have some production, and he left something out there, you know, which he knows. So that's the good thing, you know. But it was great for him to get his first action.
Between Dylan and Jackson, you guys didn't have an incompletion on any of the passes between the numbers. Is that something they were giving you, something you guys were emphasizing? I guess is there anything you're reading to that dominance level?
I don't think there's a ton to read into that. You know, I do think those guys operated again cleanly, and decision making was good. So guys made some competitive plays as well. So that was also good to see.
You had 90 snaps in the game, which is a lot. You had to play 2 units, almost probably a little bit more. How much was that a benefit for you? And also, if you could tell us a little bit about SMU defensively.
Yeah, it was huge being able to play all those guys. You know, it was great just for our locker room. You know, so many guys have put in so much time, so much effort, so much work that they got to go out there and get to play. You know, and that was fun for those guys. It was great to see, and again, great for our team, great for our unit. Was proud of those guys with the way they played. You know, we talked a ton about, regardless of who's on the field, right, being able to go out and execute at a high level and understanding the standard of how we need to operate while we're on the field. So, again, proud of those guys when they got in there, went and played well, played hard. Didn't play perfect at all, but played incredibly hard, and it was good to see. SMU defensively, you know, you watch a game this past Saturday, and they dominated for 4 quarters. You know, 6 sacks, gave up 25 yards rushing, just played dominant. So it jumps off the tape at you. So you got a really good unit that we're preparing for. They've got a bunch of guys that have played a whole bunch of football. You know, only 4 true returning starters for SMU, but they've got they did a really nice job in the portal being able to go get some guys from different places, and they're playing really well with a lot of confidence right now.
You know, how unique is it throwing the ball 33 times, only 3 incompletions? Do you look back at those 3, and they probably stand out? It's only 3. The ball to Jalil in the end zone,
Yeah.
the back shoulder, looked like hard throw, and throw to Petaway. What do you remember of those 3 passes?
Yeah, you know, going back and watching them, Jalil had a chance to make that play in the end zone. I liked where that ball was placed, and then Petaway's, you know, he really should have had that one. So you go back and watch, but again, just was proud of the competitive plays too. You know, Jay Gibb making some competitive plays. The first big shot to Andrell making a competitive play, and so that was on the tape as well, which was great to see. You know, team effort, and again, we got to continue to be really efficient, really clean to go do what we want to do.
Switch gears on you, asking, do you have a relationship with Rhett there? Do you know Rhett at all, or are you doing it all?
We've crossed paths many a time, got a ton of respect for him. Obviously an offensive guy that's been in it, had a ton of success. So do know Rhett, and just a great guy who's done a great job since he's been there.
Right? Yeah, Jeff. Curious what you learned about your offensive line on Saturday. What were your overall impressions, and specifically the run blocking? How did you feel like they handled that, and how they worked with that?
You know, I thought our guys played incredibly tough, played very physical, played incredibly hard, had some edge about them, which we need to be a tough, nasty, physical football team, and that's how we need to play. So we got to build on that. We added the right people in the run game. Arkansas State really did a pretty good job getting extra hats to the ball on some of their too high stuff, and the ball getting spilled to support players. They did a good job. We've got to win some more one-on-ones, but man, proud of how our guys played. And again, did not play perfect at all. We got to clean plenty up, fundamentally, technique, all those things. But when you watched them, man, we played hard. We played really, really violent, which was good.
Jenny?
I wanted to ask you about two wide receivers. First, Jaden Dixon. I know you talked a bit about him after the game, but we talked a couple weeks ago about how tough last year was, really kind of mentally, how he got into a bad place. How did you see him come out of that? I mean, obviously didn't play much for you last year, but what have you seen as really important to him to get him to a point where he was able to be competitive catch stuff?
Yeah, I think he's done a good job of just sticking to the plan and not wavering. He's a guy that has had great maturity outside of our building since he's been here. He's had great maturity inside the building. And so I think, with who he is today and where he's at from, being a student to just being an everyday guy, he's in a really good spot. And so I think that's showing up for him. Made the two really competitive plays that were great. He's got to clean up a ton of detail because he's got a chance to make those even easier for himself, and that's the great thing, that he's going to watch the tape and already has, and knows that he can play cleaner, but love the fact that he went and got both balls in the air. And proud of him.
I also wanted to ask about Gavin. How do so many people miss on a talent like that? Was it size? What was it with him?
We're not very smart. I mean, it really is incredible. I think he's one of those guys, man. You always talk about recruiting is not you can never bat 1,000. It's different every single year with every single kid. And he's a young man that, again, he can play anywhere in America. And dang glad he's playing for us.
George?
Yeah, Jeff. Andrell, I'm wondering, what did you see from him in the portal when you guys were evaluating him? Was it tough? Because he played a little bit at Michigan, but there wasn't a ton of tape on him.
Yeah, saw top end speed. I was very familiar with Andrell. In my last stop, recruited him out of high school, so there was some familiarity there. And then when he got in the portal, had some really close connections at Michigan, was able to reach out and talk to some people inside the building that they didn't want to lose him. They loved him. They wanted him there. Felt like he was going to be a starter for him. He needed to change, wanted a scheme change, I think, as much as anything. And again, got on the phone and everything checked out. So knew he was going to be a guy that played with really good length and really good top end speed, and that's what we needed.
How much does that help you guys just open up the defense, especially replacing Long?
No, it's huge. It absolutely is. Again, it's a deal where I think we've got a chance to play a bunch of guys at that position. Strength by numbers, man. We got a chance to, again, go roll 6, 7 guys this week. So that's going to be huge moving forward.
Ryan?
You've got such a big running back rotation. Is there like a learning curve or adjustment for those guys, knowing that they kind of get a drive and then somebody else is coming, don't really get a chance to get their rhythm, but still have to go perform? Is that like a different adjustment that?
I think for those guys, understanding making the most of every opportunity. When you get your opportunity, making the most of it, because there's other guys in the room that got a chance to go play. We weren't able to get one single guy into a great rhythm the other day, but I think those guys understand, man, they got to take advantage of opportunities and be able to go win some one-on-ones, go make some plays.
Second row, Justin, right?
Hey Jeff, going back to Jaquez, you mentioned all the way back on a media day, way back when you used to be an offensive lineman. So as an offensive lineman yourself, a former one, what was your reaction to hearing that? And is it safe to say he's doing pretty well at wide receiver instead?
I think it's been a good move for him. I'll probably keep him there, without a doubt.
What is it just about his, intangibles that makes him so well adapted to that position as wide receiver?
Yeah, he's a smart kid. He understands, and he's an intelligent young man that he loves playing football. So it was, again, it was good just to see his first action, be able to get out there and get his feet wet and go play ball. I've talked about it many times, but we're going to like that guy for a long time here.
Jeff, how would you kind of assess Austin and Blake and the rest of the tight ends in the first game? How they went back at it?
Yeah, really steady, really consistent. Tried to get Stogg a couple balls, never ended up working out. But he played tough and he strained, and a guy that, again, dang glad that he's here. So got to clean up, got to play better like every one of us do. Blake Smith really did a nice job, played a bunch of snaps. Cade McIntyre played a bunch of snaps. Josh played. So being able to play all four of those guys for the depth of that room and how we're going to operate moving forward was huge.
Brandon?
Yeah, I was going to ask about the tight ends, but is the focal point across the middle with Austin, can you talk about just what he provides you there?
Yeah, just a big body with great length and a guy that can go get the football from a catch radius standpoint. You know, we talk about when he's covered, he's not covered. So him being able to do those things inside is going to be huge.
Over here, far left, James.
Third down conversions look a lot better for you all this time around. Was it just getting better manageable positions for you all going on third down? Is that really the bigger difference this time this season?
Yeah, I think a big part of it is we were only in 1 3rd and 10 plus all day. You know, we weren't in many 7 and 9. So when you get into that sweet spot of being 6 or less, you got a chance to go execute and operate. And being good on early downs is going to be a huge part of that.
Back row, John.
Yeah, Jeff, Butch Jones seemed to indicate in his postgame press conference that you guys' team speed caught him by surprise, and I think he was referring to what you showed on film last year. How much faster are you guys? Can you kind of quantify that?
Yeah, I think it's night and day. You know, I talked about it probably last spring and in the summer leading up into camp, but our foot speed as a unit offensively is night and day where we were a year ago. So that's a huge deal for us, how we want to play, how we want to operate. That's why it's so important to be able to play, you know, all those wideouts, all those backs, and be able to have real depth at those positions so the guys, when they're on the field that are fast, get to play fast, you know, because they're not going to have to play 80 snaps. And so, again, I've talked about that a ton. We'll continue to, but we need great depth in those rooms to be able to go do what we want to do.
Is there credit to Schmitty and his staff for that as well? We're talking about team speed.
Absolutely, there is. You know, being one more year in with him, obviously the strength and conditioning part of it, the speed schools that we've done, that he's done, has just been great for our guys.
Thank you.
John, over to Randall.
So what did you see out of the running back group on Saturday, and was there anyone in that room who kind of stuck out to you?
Yeah, I saw guys that, again, took care of the football first and foremost, did a great job with that. You know, ball security, that's going to be a huge part of it, just like it always is. But then also saw guys play really hard. We want to win more one-on-ones. We want to make a few more explosives when those opportunities come up. But we're going to get to that point. As a group, you know, like, again, I saw some guys really straining like heck for their team and fighting their butt off to go win.
For 1 or 2 more, if there are any. Parker in the back.
Yeah, Coach, obviously, as we saw on Saturday, you got a ton of guys that are capable of contributing at running back. How do you kind of manage the workload between your backs going forward? Is it as simple as kind of looking at how their individual skill sets match up against the next defense you're going to play that weekend? Or is it a case of more, okay, these guys took advantage of opportunities, they're going to get more?
Yeah, I think as we move forward, there's going to be something about a guy that's having a hot hand, you know, without a doubt. You know, if a guy's in a rhythm and playing really well, then that's going to play into it. We were very pointed in how we wanted to operate the other day and being able to share carries and workloads. But as we move forward, guys that get in rhythm and have the hot hand will continue to get the rock.
Okay, second row, Lewis.
Hey, Jeff, what did you see from Emmett Jones just in terms of developing that wide receiver core throughout camp, and what was kind of the dynamic between you guys on Saturday?
Yeah, Emmett's toughness and edge and just his consistency with his guys every single day has been incredible. You know, he's a guy that demands a ton out of that room, and he's been awesome for our staff. He really has. So from a scheme standpoint to holding those guys accountable and making them a unit, you know, that's something that's been big time for us.
Last two, Jenny and George.
Can I go back to Jake for a second? His recruiting was kind of condensed from out of high school because he's moved to Florida and you guys were just how much do you think that, I mean, he comes in, he's highly touted, but he really didn't have a lot of time to get to know anybody before he gets here. Did any of that sort of just compound his sort of getting acclimated, get comfortable last year?
Yeah, I think that part was probably hard on him because there weren't those deep-seated relationships. I got here on a Wednesday. I was in Orlando on Thursday. He was here Friday. signed the following Wednesday. And that's how fast that went. And so he, again, he's done a great job of just staying the course and understanding there's a plan and seeing the bigger picture and getting out of his own way a little bit and just maturing and trusting it. So, again, looking for him to continue to do so and get better every day.
Jeff, how did Savion grade out? Is he somebody that is just going to take time for him to get used to playing more snaps and get used to the tempo?
Yeah, he graded out well. He played well. He played hard and physical and violent and tough, and he was not perfect. And again, talked about this a bunch already. We weren't perfect at all. We got to clean a bunch of stuff up starting today. But when you put the tape on, he plays the game how we want it to be played. You know, he'll strike, and he'll finish, and he'll play violent. And that's how we got to operate up front.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.